It seems like every time you drive by and glance at one of the signs, those numbers just keep getting bigger.
It's just continually going up. It's hard to know when to buy, and yeah, frustration.
Metro Vancouver is setting records, and it's frustrating for drivers.
I think we're getting taxed, out of existence.
And taxes are a big reason why the price at the pump is now so high. They add more than 52 cents to the cost of every litre. That includes 17 cents for transit and 8.89 cents for the carbon tax. But those fees don't tell the whole story. BC imports its fuel, so part of the price surge boils down to supply.
It is dependent on external sources, including the United States, which is going through neighboring Washington state, several planned refinery maintenance issues, and of course an oversubscribed Trans Mountain pipeline.
A gas price analyst says those U.S. refineries and the Trans Mountain pipeline bring in upwards of 70% of the fuel for the Vancouver market. BC's lower mainland is growing, so is the number of drivers, but the supply of gasoline isn't. And it could get worse.
They were paying $1.70 almost on gas in Vancouver this week. I'll tell you, that's just an appetizer.
On the campaign trail, Jason Kenney, the leader of Alberta's United Conservative Party, has warned of consequences if BC doesn't get on board with the Trans Mountain expansion. He's vowed that one of the first things he'll do if elected premier is to proclaim the so-called turn off the taps legislation. It was drafted under Rachel Notley's NDP government, but never proclaimed into law.
We are prepared. If they will not respect the rule of law and allow us to export our products, there will be consequences.
Now, Andrew, that legislation that Kenny is referring to, Bill 12, it would let the province limit the amount of oil and refined fuel that's shipped out of Alberta.
And how is that threat going over where you are in BC, Briar?
Well, there's no doubt that that legislation is very contentious, and BC's Attorney General David Eby has called it unconstitutional, saying that energy transportation comes under federal jurisdiction, not provincial. And he has vowed that if that legislation is enacted and comes into effect, that the province will be launching a legal challenge. So plenty to watch for.
Okay, Briar Stewart in Vancouver tonight.